again, thank you for sending my mom all of the gifts, flowers, plants, cards, money. Y'all are showing off, okay? Her Cash App is Convos with Carrie. $ Convos with the S. Convos with Carrie. And she's at Larkin Chase. Let me turn this music down. I'm sorry. I'm talking over the music. She's at Larkin Chase Center in Bowie. And we are filling her room up with all kinds of stuff. Blankets. Just, we love y'all. Let me tell you, something I thought about this morning. I'm always thanking God for everything. I thank God for the little stuff, the big stuff, the bad stuff, the good stuff. I just be so thankful for everything. And I thought about something, and I wanted to do a story time this morning with y'all real quick. It's very important to visualize something, put something in your spirit, because if you never visualize it, you will never know to want it. Number one, if you can't see something, how you know if you want it or not? So it's very important to have dreams and visions, because once you have that in your spirit, God will make a way. I'm telling you, I'm living proof of it. And I can use my parents as a good, comparison, contrast, compare. Because my parents, because of the era and the generation that they grew up in, my mom was born in the 30s, my dad was born in the 20s. And both of my parents, as you know, as you've seen from videos, they have both pretty much lived life on their terms. And they've both done what they wanted to do. Neither one of them traveled the world, but neither one of them ever wanted to. Neither one of my parents ever said, ever in life, I want to travel the world. Neither one of them ever even saw anything that they would want to. Neither one of my parents saw anything in like Europe or anything on TV that they ever said, I want to go there. So if you don't know that you want something, you'll never want it. And you can live a happy life. It's a lot of people who don't go nowhere and they're content. They're not miserable at all. There are a lot of children who've never been to Disney World, not because their parents couldn't afford it, but their parents never saw anything like that. Their kids were never exposed to it, so their kids never said, hey, I want to go. And some people just never do things outside of what they've seen. Why am I saying all of this? Because I don't know what it is about me and water, but it's something. And I didn't grow up on the water, near the water. Yes, my mom took us to the beach a lot of times. She took us to a lot of stuff. But I don't know. I think God just put it in me. Maybe because I'm a water sign. I'm July 3rd. I'm a water sign. So maybe that's it. But I remember, y'all, so clearly growing up in Kentland. And if you all live in Maryland and you've heard of Landover, Maryland, then you know what Kentland is. I grew up in Kentland, where the only water anywhere close in Kentland is the Beaver Dam Creek. It's a creek. But when I was a kid, my mom and dad used to go to this place called Heckinger's. It was like a Home Depot type of store back in the 70s. And Heckinger's was up this road called 202. And 202, Landover Road. Well, 202, when you had to go to Heckinger's, which we did as a family, which is so cute now that I think about it. My dad and mom, they pretend like they ain't into each other, but we used to do stuff as a family, right? So we go to Heckinger's, but as you go to Heckinger's, I would see this community called Lake Arbor on the left. I remember, got visions. And I remember as a kid, as a teenager, as a young adult, I have always said, I am going to live in Lake Arbor one day. I'm going to live on that lake. I always said that, right? I don't know why. I just kept saying it. My sister never said it. My mother never said it. I don't even know if they ever cared about anything like that. But I used to always say, I'm going to live in Lake Arbor on the lake one day. Because I saw it. Remember, I'm telling y'all a story. I saw it. We used to ride past it. And it used to say Lake Arbor. And because I lived in Kentland, I used to think Lake Arbor, that's just for people, rich people and mansions and stuff. I can't imagine living on the lake. But one day, I'm going to live in Lake Arbor. So when I became a young adult, I moved out because I got pregnant early. Y'all know that story. Got pregnant early, married early, and I moved out into a townhouse. I moved into a brand new constructed townhouse, something that I could afford. My very first home. I was a homeowner at 22 with my own name on it by myself. Yes, that's a true story. I was always a boss. So I lived there for several years, raised my 2 daughters there. And then I got remarried and moved to Lake Auburn. You want me to tell you how? We had a real estate agent. She said, I have a house I want y'all to see. And so I said, okay, guess where it was? It was in Lake Auburn, but it wasn't on the lake. But I still put a contract on it because I liked the house. It was what we needed at the time. It was in Lake Auburn, close to a lake. I could walk to it, but not on the lake. Just put a contract on it, signed the contract and everything. A few days later, somebody outbid me and broke my heart. God said, no, I don't want that for you. I remember what you were saying as a child and as a teenager. We didn't get that house. The next week, the following week, the real estate agent said, oh, it's another house in that same community I want y'all to look at. But it was way above my price range. So I was like, but I'm going to go look at it anyway. This house was the house on the lake, the backyard on the lake, the deck right there on hole number 13 of a golf course. Why God let me get that house, y'all? Out of my price range, all of that. In my own name, again, on my own. My dream home in Lake Auburn on the lake. I'm not even lying to y'all. And he made a way for it to happen. For years, I stayed in that home for 17 years. So fast forward, as you know, Stan and I separated back in 2023. We separated. It's 2026, y'all. Yes, that was 2023. We separated in 2023. And what led up to the separation was just a lot of chaos and stuff. Everything was just falling apart in my life. My job, my marriage. I lost my brother. He's my first cousin, but he was raised like my brother. Everything was just crumbling in my life. I couldn't file for unemployment because someone had scammed me. My credit had went to shit. I couldn't get nothing, y'all. I'm telling y'all. And this is right in the middle of a separation. So I didn't know where I was going to live when me and Stan were separating. He had good credit, so he was able to, get approved for an apartment wherever he wanted to go. Me, on the other hand, because the house was in my name and all of this stuff had gone on, my credit was some shit by then. I applied for apartments that, I felt like, I could live in this community. It was heartbreaking to leave my house on the lake. Crushed my heart. I'm applying for these apartments because now I got a teenage son and it's going to be me and him. And you can't just pick any apartment community in Prince George's County, as you know. So the one, I had picked like 5 of them that I was like, all right, I could do this. I got declined for every apartment complex that I applied for. No lie. They turned me down because of my credit. And I didn't have no job either, by the way. So I was like, I'm going to probably have to go move in with my sister or something. I didn't know what to do. Out of the blue, my real estate agent, because I had to put my house up on the lake for sale, for a short sale. Y'all, it was terrible. But my real estate agent said, she called me one morning. She said, hey, sis, I don't know how things are going with your apartment search, but I know somebody down at the harbor who has been trying to rent this unit and they haven't been able to rent it because the rent too high. I said, well, girl, if the rent too high, I don't know why you talking to me. Shit, I didn't get approved for none of the apartment complexes. And I damn sure can't afford nothing at the harbor. I ain't even looking down there. I never even considered that. Girl, bye. She was like, no, but just come look at it because I know the person that's trying to rent it. And you're such a great woman. And I know your story. I know that you're just in a bad situation. Maybe I could talk to them for you. And maybe once we do the short sale on this house, you'll get enough from the short sale proceeds and we can work a deal out with them or something. Let's just see. And so I was like, all right, okay, fine. Y'all, when I walked into this unit, it was empty. And I said to Malika, I said, this is the unit that y'all can't get nobody to rent it? And she was like, no, girl, the rent too high. It's been sitting for months. And I was like, this is the most beautiful unit in the building. So it's on the water. Y'all seen it? I'll show it to you real quick. Wait a minute. You see? And so I said, girl, I know I can't afford this. She's like, you just never know, Terry. You know, let's just see what happens. And I'm going to tell them what's going on in your life. And I'm going to let them know that I'm your real estate agent and that you are going to get some cash from your short sale of your house. I applied for this condo I couldn't afford it, y'all, at all. But I got it. No, I didn't get it. God got it. That's how I'm living here. That's how I'm telling y'all. I know it's nothing but the Lord. What? The people that own this unit, they listened to the story from my real estate agent and her girlfriend, and they told them about me, and they said, well, if she can pay her rent up front for the whole year, then okay. We cut the check for the whole year's worth of rent. And God been making a way for me to keep the rent. I mean, that was 2 years ago. I'm still here. And it is the best unit in the building. The best. That's nothing but God, y'all. That's what I had to tell y'all. That's God. There's no other explanation. You heard the whole story, and I didn't leave anything out. You have to have something in your mind. You have to have something in your spirit, and you have to believe that God can do it. And he did it. And I'm still here. Only God, because I still can't afford it. I'm not even lying. Y'all know I don't have no shame in my game. I'm not embarrassed about my situation. Life is real. But let me tell you, there have been months in this condo where I didn't know how I was going to pay the rent. God always makes a way, though. God has put people in my life that help me. God has put situations that come up and be like, oh, here's $500 here, $600. Listen, God be making a way. And I just had to share that with y'all because I need y'all to have a vision in your mind and just tell God, like, this is what I need, Lord. That's what I need. I said, Lord, you can't take me away from that Lake Arbor House. I was living on the lake for 17 years. My deck, I'll show y'all pictures and stuff. My deck is, you sit out on my deck and you like on the lake. All you need is a fishing rod and maybe like take 10 more steps. I'm not lying. So when that happened to me and I had to leave that because life happened and I couldn't stay there anymore, I said, God, how you gonna take me away from this water and put me nowhere with no water? He said, I ain't gonna do that. You just gotta trust me, girl. You gotta trust me, little girl. I got you. And this ain't a lake. This a whole big, what's this river? Potomac River. God don't play about the ones that he loves and the ones that are true to him. And I be true to him. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Y'all know. Sometimes I cuss. Sometimes I do stuff that God be like, now, Terry, I did not tell you to do that. And I did not tell you to say that. And I be like, I know, Lord, I'm sorry, okay? But he know I have a heart for him. And he know I'm always trying. Every single day that I wake up, I'm always saying, God, if there is something inside of me that is not of you, take it away. I don't want it. So he know that I'm serious about living my life the way that he wants me to live it, even though I mess up. Yeah. So y'all needed to hear that. Put it in your spirit. Speak it. Say that that's what you need in your life. Believe that he's going to do it. Not on your time. I had no idea. I never even looked for anything down at the harbor, y'all, because I knew I couldn't afford it. It wasn't in my, I knew that. But God said, I'm not going to take you away from a lake and then give you no water. Girl, by now? You don't know what I can do? I was like, I know now, Lord. Okay. So I told y'all I did a video not too long ago. I think it's posted. And I said in that video, I said, Lord, if I ever leave this condo, which I don't want to, I don't know that I have to now that I'm an empty nester and it's just me. But if I ever leave, I've already said to God, now you know you can't go lower now, Lord. You done did this. You done took me from the lake to this. So you know the next time it's, so wherever it is, I said I want to be able to walk in the grass barefoot and see wildlife and see the water. Wherever it is, I don't care if it's a 1-bedroom cottage shack. As long as it's on the water, I don't care. And so that's what's in my vision now for the next time. So I'm manifesting it. And y'all hear me for sure. And you stay my cousins and the years go on, then you'll be able to see. Did she manifest the next one or no? We're going to see.